My name is Heather Bittner Fagan. I am a family physician and researcher, and I lead the community engagement and outreach core for Excel. Before we started the slides, Erin was underscoring the importance of the lay summary, and it hit me that one way to think about this is that if the abstract or the specific aims page is the introduction to the work that's used by the scientists, well, then the lay summary is really that introduction or foyer for, the lay people coming into this work. And you may or may not know that increasingly we are having research reviews that really incorporate the layperson, the patient, the community advocate that's pertinent to the work. And certainly in Excel, we are doing that. So let me talk to you guys a little bit about some do's and don'ts around the lay summary. And can everyone see my slide?
Yeah.
Great. So to define the lay summary, it's a brief summary of the research written in simple language that has been written for members of the public, meaning non-scientists. So key questions that should be answered in the lay summary, and I have the Excel hat on here a little bit, but think about translating your results from scientific findings and data charts into what will this mean for the person or the community involved. So you want to answer some key questions about when, where, and how will this work become meaningful for patients and communities? The biggest questions, though, I kind of floated in here, are who stands to benefit, why does this work matter, and what are you going to do in the simplest terms possible? So first of all, you want to keep it short. Not easy for researchers, right? We like detail, and in every other part of the research application, when we present, when we write up our manuscripts for publication, it's all about detail, detail, detail. So I think one of the hardest part is turning that on its head for a lay summary and really being able to make it succinct. Another sort of key do is pretend you're talking to your mom. And, of course, if your mom is a nuclear physicist, then, maybe think about my mom. But, or a friend or, a really smart 14-year-old. No jargon and avoid acronyms. Now, I know that sometimes it's, hard because the word is so darn long. So if you have to, then you have to. But certainly you're going to want to redefine any acronyms again. And when I say no jargon, I mean things like, instead of saying apoptosis, say cell death. You want to be able to put your work into context, right? So for us, we can, scientists, we could read a paragraph and I could probably say, oh, this person's contributing to the literature in this particular way. But you're going to need to tell a lay reader if your work is really about understanding the problem better, meaning that it's not necessarily yet touching patients. It might be in animals, and that's okay. Say animals. Your project might be testing treatment. It might be sort of taking an old treatment, understanding why it doesn't work in certain populations. It may be about trying to find better ways to diagnose. And you still would need to kind of say, well, why is that important? Is earlier diagnosis matter? Does diagnosis fall down in certain, groups? Or trying, as I said, trying to understand barriers in a certain population. So those are the kinds of terms, really simple terms of what is the context of your work and why does it matter that you want to get into the lay summary. And obviously, I don't know what that beeping is. Could it be my battery? Anyway, I'll plug in a minute. And then you want to fit your work into the bigger picture. So, it's okay if you're not, working on a cure just yet for whatever disease or population you're thinking about. But where is your step in the bigger process? And, if you had the crystal ball, telescoping, looking, way out into the future, how does your work contribute to those bigger findings, those more impactful things that we want to see happen from your work? And that is my last slide. So I kept it short.